All right, so we're live. Still waiting on Paula, but I figured I'll go live now so I can talk to you guys. So yeah, the Pulp Cthulhu game's been a lot of fun. We've it's it's obviously not meant for children or anybody who is easily offended. So that's what I will say about the Pulp Cthulhu game. But yes, it's been a good one. Yeah, we that group is so wild. Like obviously we take things a little far at times, but I'm glad people are enjoying it. As for a lot of the other games we have, the Dragon Age game, I don't know how that's going to go over time. Right now, so far, it's pretty tame, other than violence and stuff. But Dragon Age as a setting is dark fantasy, and it touches on some pretty morbid things at times. So that game could get a little gory and touch on some of those things as well. Whereas like the D&D games I run, I try to keep those PG-13. But yeah, it's been a wild adventure. I was warned before the Pulp Cthulhu campaign that things could get pretty crazy, and Peter did not underestimate that. I was like, oh, it's not going to be that bad, and it got pretty raunchy pretty quick. So, but no, it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. It's one of those games where, like you said, you can. There's so many like hilarious moments, and I don't know if you've ever caught Peter's recap videos, but those are hilarious as well. So yeah, we've Peter's an awesome DM too. He keeps the action flowing. It's always a lot of fun. It's a good group. All of them have been playing with each other for a while, I think. And Paula's joining us. Yay! Oops, my knee hit. Do you have enough room? You ready to paint that behemoth?
I mean, maybe.
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 So we now have this light.
So bright.
Yeah, I know, but you always complain you don't have enough light.
So bright.
So I didn't know where you wanted your water. I got it there. The paint trays are over there. You should be all set. You didn't bring drinking water, or you did?
What do you think this is?
Oh, sorry. You got the same color cup. It threw me off.
Goodness. Goodness.
So up here, Victor said, wish Paula a late happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
Yeah, so the recaps get me dying even more so than the actual game itself sometimes.
Oh, are you talking about Peter's recaps?
Pulp Cthulhu. Victor loves it.
Those are gold.
Yes.
They really are.
Yes. Peter should do that for all my games. I just don't want to have to download them and send them to him. My computer can barely handle what I'm doing now. I don't think he'd have the bandwidth either to do that for all of the games.
Sticky on that brush. What are you doing with my brushes out here? Seems questionable. Yeah, no, but those are absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
Because he'll even take clips from earlier episodes sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And mix them in.
Yeah, only the punch you in the face one that I remember.
Or it'll be like, I can't do that. I never said I could do that. And then it'll be like an earlier clip of you being
Has
like,
that happened?
oh yeah, I could do that.
Has that happened?
Something like that one time, yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that. Either way, they are pretty great. So we now stream some video game stuff too on the channel. We do some Dragon Age. I'm planning on eventually doing some Skyrim. So we'll probably do that when I'm not feeling like playing Dragon Age. But I love Dragon Age. I want to go through the whole series before Dragon Age 4 comes out, and I would like to, when Dragon Age 4 comes out, stream that opening day. Like do a binge stream or something that day. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't there another Skyrim coming out too?
Not that I know of.
This is so pokey.
Yeah, it is pokey. No, I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of. They've got a online version of it.
I thought there was another.
I don't think so. Maybe. I have no idea. I haven't heard anything. I just know Dragon Age 4 is being worked on right now, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's going to take place in Tevinter. And we have a former playable character from Inquisition who is a bad guy. It sounds like there's going to be all sorts of craziness with like the crows, the Antivan crows.
Oh,
You're going to have the Grey Wardens from like their main base. There's even been rumors that people think they might bring in griffins because the Wardens used to have pet griffins. And they've already implemented things like that in Mass Effect where you can fly on things. So they might have that in there. There's also rumors based on some of the concept art that you might be able to do some underwater stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's all sorts of things out there for that. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's going to be awesome.
So do you think they'll update the RPG if they add those additional features?
I don't think so anymore. I don't think so. I don't think they have the license anymore. They might still have the license. I don't know if Green Ronin does or not. But even if that's the case, like it's so difficult to get products out, like tabletop RPGs out for that IP.
Yeah, but they couldn't do
It took years for them to get the main stuff out.
So you wanted this to be a blue dragon, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Blue with strong artistic liberties.
I didn't say that part.
I think I remember something like that. Isn't that what you remember, Victor?
He doesn't remember it that way.
Strong artistic liberties?
He doesn't remember it that way.
I think so.
Nope. I don't think so.
Question, what system do you play Dragon Age on?
Dragon Age. It's the Age system. So Green Ronin, they had the license a few years back to do Dragon Age. Are you talking about the video game or are you talking about the tabletop RPG? I'm assuming you're talking about the tabletop RPG.
Didn't other people before it quickly have like yellow chest here or something like that? I think I was going to do that. Sorry, continue.
That's okay. So on the tabletop RPG, it's Green Ronin. They had the license of the video game to do the tabletop RPG, like, I don't know, 7 years ago or so. It's been a long time. And then they had to release it in box sets. The first box, I think, was level 1 through 5. And then, like, a year later, they were able to release the second box set, which was, 6 through 10. And then, the remainder, or something like that. Then it took a couple more years for them to do the actual thick book. Yeah, see? Like that.
Oh, and they did the underside of the wings that color too?
Yeah, it's like a mustard yellow under the wings. It's more of a regular yellow on the chest. But I don't
That's
mind.
That's not a yellow. That's gold, honey.
That is not gold. It's yellow.
It's gold.
It looks gold because it has wash over
He means the video game. Pay attention. Let me paint.
Video game where I originally played it on PS3. I'm now on Xbox 3 or Xbox One. But the Dragon Age Origins game it's like a retro game. So it's actually, the interface and everything is Xbox 360. But yeah, we're playing it on Xbox One. And it's been a lot of fun. I think Dragon Age 2 is the same way where it's backwards compatible. So I'll be playing that and it'll have like weird 360 type of menus and stuff. But Inquisition will be strictly Xbox One. But I can't wait. Dragon Age 4 is going to be great. O'Neill Flynn, what's up, buddy? That is yellow.
That's more of like a gold tone, though. It's not really yellow.
You want me to grab the monster
Yellow
manual
is like,
instead?
do you want to look at yellow? That's what yellow is.
I understand that's
this
yellow.
Is
that's
yellow.
that's the
This
Adidas Michigan
This
yellow.
is like the color you're showing me, a combo of
That's
like
mustard
that and like this. Like these two together. Please, no, just sit down. I got this. Artistic liberties. Victor said that's what I was supposed to do.
No, you know that's BS. You know it's BS.
He told me.
Victor's wrong.
He messaged me earlier and he said, Paula, just remember, your artistic liberties are the most important factor in you painting this dragon. Because you know.
So in this, it's not even really, like the chest part's yellow, but the other part's not. And I have a smaller version of the dragon as well up here. Where did I put him?
Oh, so it's like you have a version of what it looks like when it's a baby, and then when it grows up and gets bigger, then I can show you what it's going to look like.
Something.
Is that what you're saying?
Something like that. Why can't I find it?
Well, it must not exist, so don't worry about it.
I want to worry about it now.
Artistic liberties.
I heard you say that. Where is it? Oh, it's hidden behind the gold ring. So this one is not yellow. This one is gray-ish. So there's that one.
No, that's also like a really brownish yellow tone. That's
like not even
beige.
Yellow.
That's like beige.
That's not yellow at all.
Well, where do you think beige gets its color from? From yellow.
Are we for real? If I said the same thing you just said, you would be so technical and correct me. If I said what you just said.
It has yellow in it.
If I just said what you said, you would have totally tried to say I was wrong. If roles were reversed.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You do know, because you get so technical about colors with me. So technical. Just like, that's not yellow. That's more of a gold. Oh, well, this over here is yellow. No, that over there is like neon yellow.
Look, I'm trying to explain to you how colors work.
No,
See?
you're not.
Look at.
No.
They know.
No, they don't. They just like to stir the pot.
They know.
They just like to stir the pot. So,
keep on stirring, guys. Keep on.
But anyway, so my plan is to play through all the Dragon Age games, and I'm going to do them differently than I've done it before. So, for example, right now I'm playing as a mage, an elven mage. I hate the fact that he's shorter than every other mage or other character I've come across. That's weird to me. But I'm playing as a mage. I still am, like, even though I'm playing
He's just petite. Okay?
I wish, that's fine. He's short, though, too.
Well,
even shorter than other elves.
Are you playing an elf?
Yes, an elf. Anyways, it doesn't matter. The model is shorter than all the others. It's weird. Like, it's very noticeable. Like, old men taller than me. Old mage men taller than me. It's weird. Anyways, still wishing I was playing a fighter, though.
You're just all upset because you're not playing a fighter. That's what it really comes
Probably.
down to.
Although I would have been more upset that my fighter would be shorter than everybody. So...
He's just agile, okay?
No, I don't make agile fighters. So anyways, playing as a mage right now. I have not beat Origins as a mage, so that'll be fun. Also, don't believe I beat it as an elf either. So again, that'll be awesome.
And you're playing a fighter in a Dragon Age game.
Our tabletop game.
Right?
Yeah, in our tabletop game.
Yes, you don't need to play more fighters.
So anyway, so then
embrace the spellcasting
Dragon Age
side.
2, you're forced to play a specific character, really. You can play a female version of it or a male version. But it's a human, no matter what. And you can choose again from the same three classes, warrior, mage, or a rogue. Or is it called rogue in that? I think it's called a rogue. So I played that as a fighter as well last time. I think I'll still do that again, just because in my mind Hawk is a fighter, and that's the character you play. So I will be playing as Hawk in the second game, And then in Inquisition, though...
So you're just going to keep playing as a fighter?
No. In the third one, in Inquisition, I am going to play a rogue. Kunari is what I want to do.
Oh, okay.
So that's my plan.
Oh, this blue is so blue.
Nope, everyone's not overly tall. I don't know what happened. It's something weird about it. It's something weird about the model.
It's probably something that nobody else would notice, Victor, but he's just
you know what? Okay,
it.
so she says that. So in Dragon Age, in the setting, apparently if something is there's no half elves. There's what's called elven blood humans, which is a half elf. However, they're supposed to only look like humans. They're not supposed to look like elves at all. No pointy ears. They take no traits of the elven side. Now, with that, the development on the second one, they have an elven blood character, and it's got elven ears and stuff, and people are like crucified it over that. And even the developers are like, yeah, that was our mistake. We rushed the game because they had to meet deadlines. So no, you think I'm picky about stuff. I'm not. People are like obsessed. It's kind of like Star Wars fans. There's just a lot less of them for Dragon Age. Like Star Wars fans are freaks about certain lore and things like that in the movies.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I know I'm not wrong.
But I'm just saying.
But
maybe they were busy and they were just like, you know what? If you pick a elven mage to start off, you get to be shorter than everybody.
Nah, I have a feeling it's all the models in these specific cutscenes. I have a feeling that's what it is. Although I don't think elves in Dragon Age lore are necessarily tall. I don't think they're necessarily like in D&D, elves are typically tall and slender.
That's super blue.
Yeah, it is. It's okay though. I don't mind that.
This is really thick.
That's what she said.
Stop it.
Look, Victor likes the Pulp Cthulhu game. I'm sure those kinds of comments aren't going to bother him. And O'Neill's not overly sensitive either. I think we'll be fine.
What about me, though?
You're not sensitive.
What about me?
You're not even
considering my feelings now.
You're not sensitive at all. Don't act like you are all of a sudden. Unless it has to do with children and moms or like someone dying, you're not sensitive at all.
Okay, that's probably true.
It is true. Every time we watch a movie where like a parent dies or a kid dies or like they're separated, you cry like a baby.
I mean, yeah, but still.
Ooh, Victor said, question, what is the point of a human having elven blood? It just means that a human and an elf got it on and had a baby. That's all it means. But in Dragon Age, elves are looked down upon. They are an inferior race in Dragon Age.
Get your questionable dragon out of here.
They are... So in Tevinter, they tend to be slaves. In Ferelden... So you have native Dalish elves. And you have city elves. Dalish elves still live in the wilds. They still, live in the forests and things like that. However, they don't have a home. They've been pushed out of their home over the centuries, right? Over the hundreds of years. City elves are forced to live in alienages, which is kind of like a way of saying, yeah, they live in the less desirable part of town. And usually there's like a gate that like keeps that portion away from like the other parts of town. And
yeah, it's like the lower class section.
Yeah, they can't get work unless they're servants or helpers of some kind. It's just they're low end. That's how they're treated. It's very racist against elves. So if people find out you have elven blood, people are not accepting of that. However, you don't have elven features, so the only way people find that out is if it's talked about. O'Neill said, you would get more sensitivity out of a rock than me. LOL. Hey, The Rock is a very sensitive man. Just so we know. The Rock's awesome. Victor says, question, is Paula's sensitivity about puppies or kittens? Neither.
No.
Neither.
Unless it's that Disney short Kit Bull, because that makes me, like, tear up a little bit.
For real?
But all Disney shorts, you guys, I'm sorry if you aren't watching those.
They're not.
They're amazing.
Why does that make you tear up and cry?
Because, like, the puppy was, like, lost and didn't have a home, and the cat didn't have a home, and then they found their home together.
Yeah, but that's not worth crying about. That's like, hey, that's a happy story.
I know, so you're happy about it. Just because you cry doesn't mean you're sad.
Sounds pretty sad to me.
Look.
I'm just saying.
You don't know.
So, yeah, so it's been a while since we've done the mini painting. Obviously, we normally do a random table. My computer lately has not been handling doing multiple things on a computer at once very well. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's getting towards that time. I don't know what's going on with it. But I will continue doing those. I'll get back to doing those here soon. It won't be during streams, though, which I like doing those on stream. But, yeah, it's just, it doesn't, I don't think it'll work. It'll glitch out. Not glitch. It'll buffer and kill the stream, I think. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah. But we'll be back to doing this, every other week, like we've discussed. It'll be the week that we don't do Dragon Age on Tuesdays, the tabletop RPG. And technically, Pathfinder's only got 2 more sessions. So maybe 1, but I don't think they're going to breeze through it. I think it's got 2 more sessions. But when we finish that, I don't know if I'm going to start something new in that spot. There was talk with Brett on my Discord server about playing some superhero game that he plays.
Oh, that could be fun.
Yeah, I don't remember the system. It's based on, like, don't worry, it's a stink bug. It's based on, like, successes and failures, but like only D6s to determine it. I don't know. I don't really understand it. I don't own it. I don't know anything about it. Never heard of the game.
So like, would he run it?
Yeah, he would run it. Probably a one-shot. More than anything.
Could be fun to do some one-shots.
Yeah, and that was one of my ideas too. Or I could stream more video games on Friday nights. I could stream Dragon Age and Skyrim, and things like that, and get through the games a little bit quicker. It's still going to take a while with just playing for like an hour or two, once or twice a week. It's still going to take a while to get through them. But it's worth it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. O'Neill says, I'm trying to figure out what my computer will handle. It's old. I'm hoping when things settle down here, I'll start podcasting. The cool thing about podcasting is you can record it off of, not even with your computer, and then put it on a computer. And there's some really cheap stuff out there now. I don't know, are you planning on doing podcasting?
What's your podcast going to be about?
Yeah, and are you going to do it with somebody over the internet? Or are you going to do it in person with somebody? Or are you doing it by yourself? Because all that stuff determines, like, if you need a good computer, if you need a good mic for your computer, things like that. But I was looking at microphones and audio switchboard things recently for when I do stream. And you can find some pretty cheap podcasting stuff out there, actually. Like, I'm saying like under $60. That includes a working microphone. It's more like a Blue Snowball style microphone where you don't have all the settings on it. But you can get one of those. And it's a bundle. It's like a microphone, then the interface software where you can like add sound effects and adjust volumes of music and sound and all sorts of stuff like that. Adjust your own voice in it. And again, it's only like $60. And it comes with a boom arm, I believe, too. So you can actually clamp it to a table. So right now, when I stream my video games, as opposed to when I stream over here, like where we're at right now, I have to undo my microphone and stuff, and the scissor arm's already starting to show some damage where it clamps to the table from me undoing it and doing it so much. So it'd be nice if I didn't have to move all that. But we'll see. We shall see. I'm surprised again you're using such a small brush again.
There's a lot of small spaces in here.
Yeah. Okay, I was just saying. I don't know. You sure you don't want to see my little dragon guy over here as a reference? No? Okay, fine. Fine. So, Paula. Oh, before we get into that, let me read this. Myself and sometimes my son, maybe, I bought a mic and the hookup to my iPhone. My iPhone records way better than my computer. Oh, you're... Okay, so our iPhones do not even have anything to plug into anymore. They just have the power plug-in. The new design iPhones are... It kind of sucks that you can't have earphones in. Josh said, now if only we could get my voice to sound like a human, not some nasally high-pitched drunkard. It doesn't sound like that.
There's nothing we can do about that, Josh. Nothing we can do.
Don't feed into his made-up insecurities about his voice. His voice is fine.
Oh, his voice? His voice is fine. I thought he was talking about your voice.
So when I first talked to Josh, I actually thought he was from like England or something. I thought he was like, fancy.
Yeah, his voice sounds fancy.
That's what I thought. He hates his voice.
No, your voice sounds fancy, dude.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Sounds really fancy.
Like, he could tell me he's like royal blood from England, and I probably would have bought into it. That's why I didn't think he was like from America originally when we talked to him. I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, I get that. I get why you would think that.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, dude. And you're in California. You could get like gigs in Hollywood with that voice. For sure. So, I was going to ask you, Paula, and I had this conversation with somebody while playing my baseball game on Twitch earlier.
Oh, goodness.
We were talking about Pathfinder. So, he followed that from when I used to stream D&D on Twitch, like 3 years ago. And he said... So, he asked me if I liked Pathfinder. Because, he knew I was talking about my stream coming to an end. And... So he said, yeah, it's a little bit crunchy and overwhelming. So my question to you, as somebody who's played it, not run it, and we've played it for what, like 12 sessions, plus you played in the other game, so like 13 or 14 sessions by now, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of Pathfinder 2nd Edition?
I mean, I think that it's fun, and there's a lot of, like, options. It could be my character, but I frequently kind of find myself doing the same thing over and over again. But that could be my character, or it could be that combat lasts so long.
Okay, but yeah, you do the same thing. Like, you always go for the panache. You always go for the whatever, killing blow. Or
where there are just the same, like, OP combos, kind of.
So how come you don't try other stuff?
I don't really have any other special abilities.
You don't need a special ability to do something, though.
No, I know, but I'm just saying I don't really have any other... I don't have any other special abilities.
So do you find yourself, when you have a game like that, where you have special abilities, do you feel restricted to using just those then? Like, not necessarily restricted, but do you feel obligated to use those over trying to think outside the box and do something cool?
No, it's just that it's not usually advantageous for me to do anything else. Like, I could use, like, a skill that I have or something to try and, like, do some diplomacy or something like that. But it's not going to do anything.
It doesn't have to be, though. Like,
in combat.
Right.
Like, what would be an example of something I could do in combat that's not those same moves kind of over and over again?
Could be, for example, I mean, diplomacy would be one thing or whatever, obviously.
But
using rope to try and like tie somebody up or, you know, restrain them or trip them.
Sure, if I thought that the rest of my party wasn't just going to murder everybody anyway. Yeah, that could be useful, sure. But like that's not going to work.
Because, I mean, in other games, you do the same thing over and over again, too. It doesn't matter if it's Pathfinder or 5e.
I mean, sometimes, but my characters have more than just, like, one ability. Like, I do feel like, so characters are very
Well, we've discovered that's why you prefer a spellcaster over anything else anyway.
Because they have more options.
Right, because you have a variance of spells, not necessarily abilities. Because you basically but you still gravitate to the same couple spells. Like your bard always does the card trick in the one game.
Well, that's just because that's her only cantrip. That's what she had for a cantrip. That's my water. Get your grimy mitts off my water.
I'll move it so I don't... There we go. That'll help. There we go. If I put it on the same side. Okay. Because that was the gripe that like Cody had from Taken 20 was that, you know, players did the same optimal thing over and over and over again, and it got boring and repetitive. And my argument back then was that, yeah, but that's how every game is, you know?
I think Pathfinder, like, really narrows it down. Like, all of my abilities are related around having panache. All of them. Sure,
but that's because you took panache. You didn't have to take panache, right?
That's what I got by default. You get the tumble through and then the panache. And then you get to pick the abilities that you do.
Oh, because you're a swashbuckler. Yeah.
Yeah, but like it is very niche. So characters are very niche. Yeah, but
how is that any different than a rogue trying to sneak up to get the drop and to use the assassinate ability in 5e? How is that any different?
Because they have more than just the assassinate ability.
No, not really. What do they have?
They could have selected feats that are different than that.
Not in 5e, really? No, you get that if you're a rogue assassin.
You get more flexibility in your build, I think.
In D&D?
Like, once I started my character, I didn't have a lot of options to make it a ton different than what it was going to be.
In Pathfinder or D&D?
In Pathfinder.
Really?
I felt like.
Okay. I don't agree with that at all, but okay. Painting and reading at the same time.
Yeah.
You're going to have like 2 hours after you get off stream to read and talk to your Dust Squad.
We're no longer the squad.
Oh, what are we now? What are we now?
Now we're besties.
Besties?
Yeah. Shut up and read. You're behind.
I am reading. I'm not behind anything.
I just think it does, like, my character is more, and maybe that's just because of the type of character that I picked, and we also picked a shorter adventure, so I'm not going to pick anything that isn't really related to, you know, kind of like I'm not going to pick some hardcore diplomacy skills or whatever.
Why? Diplomacy could have helped you in a few situations already.
Not with the last level up. We were in a dungeon and you were like, this is almost the end, so I'm just going to pick more of the same.
Well, yeah, that's true. But, I mean, from level 1, there were things you could have taken. You get choices all the time in Pathfinder, whereas I feel the opposite in D&D. I feel like the choice you get to make is your class and subclass. And that's it. Once you do that, you're locked in unless you decide to multi-class.
Well, I think that's why I like spellcasters, because then you can change them up.
Right.
With whatever skills you have.
Right, but that goes for any game. You would like spellcasters in Pathfinder for the same exact reason.
I mean, maybe. It just felt, like I said, it just felt repetitive. That's all.
I got you.
So.
I don't disagree that it's been.
I'm just telling you.
repetitive on your character's behalf.
You asked for my...
Whereas our alchemist is trying to throw beehives and kick beehives and throw alchemist bombs and smoke bombs and set himself on fire too.
Yeah, but I was also, like, for a hot second trying to prove that I should be, like, a frontline fighter, and so then I was also trying to be more combat heavy, because that's what my character should do, is she should be a frontline fighter, but in which she is, and she does a really good job at it. It's just that nobody else thinks about my character that way.
I don't think you role play into it.
Despite the fact that I save the day time and time again, and I've saved the life of everybody in that party.
But I don't think you...
multiple times.
Early on, you were very quiet about your combat prowess. Even in combat, you didn't, like, play it up. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that's part of it. You know what I mean?
Nah.
I do, because nobody had any idea about your armor class, for example.
I was dropping stuff the first time.
I understand you were dropping
First
stuff.
time dropping stuff like nobody's business.
Okay,
Never
so
got hit.
So when you dropped stuff, how did you role play it?
I don't remember. I don't want
to... Yeah, so I'm just saying.
Different.
I'm just saying. So, but I don't think there was anything that you gave off that made people go, oh, yeah, she's hard to hit. Because that was the big thing, is your armor class, I think, was either the best or tied for the best.
No, it's the best.
I mean, I know it is now. I don't remember what it was at level 1.
It was still the best.
Okay. But either way,
it's been the best the whole time.
It never came out in any way, shape, or form. It was never implied.
I didn't know that I had to roleplay not getting hurt when everybody else was dying.
In general, how are the other players supposed to know that unless you outright tell them, yeah, my armor class is better than everyone's?
Well, sorry, I was trying not to metagame.
I said it.
No,
metagame.
I said that multiple times.
Okay.
But
okay,
it is what it is.
I mean, we have that happen in all of the games. Like in our pulp game, you know, people think that my character is strong. He's not that strong. Like, for a while, people thought Josh's character was overweight and fat, but she's, like, way stronger and more athletic than my guy. Like, you know, and I think it was because of a lot of, like, stereotypes around our characters, you know? Whereas your character was a swashbuckler.
Well,
Durgan
I think that's
is
because
a paladin in heavy armor. It just, you automatically
think,
think,
Pulp
that's the
Cthulhu game, though, I think that's just because Josh is playing a female character. I think that's the only
possibly,
reason why.
and it was a pizza delivery driver, and you know, Ethel wasn't a very serious character, so I think that, Ethel's got like rollers in her hair and a muumuu. Of course, she's not a serious character. So I think that it was association of all those things is what I think it came down to. Because I even originally thought that I didn't think she was fat, but I didn't think she was stronger than me and athletic. Like I was imagining a slender pizza delivery driver that probably liked to smoke a lot of weed because she was a pizza delivery driver. And that changed very quickly, and then I realized, okay, it wasn't.
Why are you gonna stereotype pizza delivery?
Because I've worked in pizza a lot of my life, and almost all of them are like that.
Why are you gonna live your life like that?
So Victor says your PC may song a sing during combat. Maybe. O'Neill says, I'm running a paladin for the first time ever. Never cared for any spellcasting before. I've been trying to kill him off, but now he's level 14 and still tanking away. Yeah, paladins in 5e
Paladins are hard to kill, man.
They are in 5e, depending on what's going against them and stuff. You know, having spells that allow you to, like, up your AC and things like that. You have to... It's almost like the DM has to try and kill you sometimes. You know, has to optimize against you at times.
Even then, if you made your paladin to be like primeval badass dude, it doesn't matter. They can really struggle to kill him.
Yeah, it's really the AC that always.
I'm just saying, as somebody who's played a paladin before, when the DM tried to kill me.
No, yeah, but you played against a DM who didn't know how to set up encounters against you at all, or set up encounters at all, and bitched about it all the time. Like, let's be real here. It had nothing to do with our builds because my fighter that was just a stat array fighter with no feats, I don't think. I think I took the ASI because he said feats were overpowered. So I took an ASI instead at 4th level. I was told I was optimizing. No. There was no optimizing involved. Like, oh yeah, I made strength my highest stat. Of course, because I'm a fighter. I'm a dwarf. Oh, that was frustrating. Anyways, Victor says, question, Paula, do you feel that you get a change to roleplay between combat encounters? Once I played a rogue and suggest we elect a leader of the party.
Do I get a chance to like roleplay in between encounters? Is that what he's asking?
Between combat encounters.
Oh, between combat? Sometimes it depends. It depends on what's going on. But I think sometimes we play online a lot and I don't like to interrupt people.
She will not interrupt anybody but me.
So what I've started to do is I've started to more try and role play what I'm going to do as I'm rolling and estimate what those results probably look like. You know, like usually a couple encounters in or a couple...
So the answer is no, you don't feel like you get to role play between combat encounters.
Yeah, not really a ton.
Paula is a very... What is it? What's the word? She will not speak up over people. She'd rather bite her tongue and be mad about it later. Be like, well, I didn't get the chance to do the thing because you didn't give me a chance. I'm like, that's not up to me to speak up for you. Use your voice. Like,
I know, but I always feel like I'm interrupting people a lot.
What?
But other people don't interrupt and they don't have a...
Yes, they do.
You know?
Yeah, they do. People interrupt, especially online. It happens all the time. You don't notice that? You only notice it when, like, you're about to talk?
When I'm trying to say something?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Because, like, it happens while you're talking sometimes.
Probably because I just ignore them.
No, you don't. You stop talking, and then you get, like, upset later that you didn't get to say your thing. It's happened, like, with Luke's character a few times. We've talked about it with him.
Oh, yeah, but I think he's aware of that.
He is. It happens with when I'm playing, too. You get mad at me about it.
That's why my character always picks on his character.
Right, because then you're allowed to talk over him because it's in character. I just think you need to embrace it sometimes with online games. I do. Or in games in general. Because you used to get mad about in-person games like that, too. But when you have, like, a strong personality at the table or somebody who doesn't mind taking charge, if you are not somebody willing to speak up...
It's very interesting,
you have to be quick to speak up, too.
Because, like, at work, I'm the opposite. Where I just interrupt everybody and I just keep talking.
Yeah, I don't know.
A lot of times.
I mean, it's different if you're intentionally trying to be rude. And I don't think anybody would take it for being rude if you were just trying to offer your character's opinion in a game. You know what I mean? That's just my take.
I do think that, so here's one thing that I think is difficult for me, is I think a lot of other people go into a game with an idea of what their character is like. And I think I usually develop that and change that as the game gets started. So I think sometimes I'm a little late to that game in relationship to other people.
Yes, that is something you've always been like. You've always been I'm not going to decide what my character's like until we're 3 sessions in.
Because sometimes you just want to, like, make something that's going to... You want it to mesh with the other characters, too.
Maybe. The mesh doesn't have to go that deep, though. It can literally be the thing that we roll for. That's it.
I know, but sometimes
beyond that,
we
though,
don't...
you can come up with your own stuff.
We haven't always done that, or whatever.
No, but we do it a lot. I would say the last few years we always do that, unless it's a one-shot. Sometimes, like, with one-shots, whatever. But, yeah, we've done it in, like, every campaign I've run that I can think of. At the start. Didn't need to do it with the kobolds. recently.
Yeah, but see, that threw me off because everybody else had a developed character when we started, and I was like, oh, dang.
In what?
Like, they knew, I don't know, they had, like, personalities for their character, and I was
For what,
like,
kobolds?
Yeah.
No, that was winged. You can tell. They all played cowards. They all played goofy voices. That was not like a well thought out thing. That's just the stereotype of a kobold.
Oh, well, it seemed well thought out to me. I don't know.
No, kobolds are sniveling little shits. Like, they set traps and run. That's what they do. Everyone was just role-playing kobolds. There wasn't... No.
I don't know what a kobold is like, I guess.
What are you talking about?
You know?
Yeah, you do.
Well, like, as, like, a player character, what do you want your
It's
kobold
whatever you want it
to
to
be
be.
like?
Josh says end the saving throws. Yes, paladins have really good saving throws. But every class has weaknesses. There are still attributes you can target with saving throws. There's still, all sorts of things you can do to offset paladins. Obstacles where their heavy armor make it very difficult. And maybe they have disadvantage on, climbing checks. Maybe they get tired from making a long climb. Like, there's a lot you can do still as a DM that isn't necessarily you out to kill the player's character, but you can still make it harder on paladins. Victor says, I'm a lot like Paula. I stay quiet when others are talking. Yeah, Paula will just shut up. She won't say anything. If two people are going back and forth, she won't interject in a role-playing game. One of the big problems is that, and this is from Josh, one of the big problems is that Paula is such a confident role player that she doesn't want to make other people feel less or nervous and want them to take their turns. I have found that rolling on Xanathars has been a huge help in allowing me to develop interesting and fun characters without worrying about how they work together. So Paula will not...
What do you mean rolling on Xanathars?
There's like background stuff you can do. Like I've tried to give you these things in the past, and you're always like, no, I want to figure it out in the game.
What are you talking about?
You never want
to... Pull it up.
I'm not pulling it up right now. I can't.
I want to see it.
I'm not...
I don't get a book.
No, stop. Stop.
I want to see what he's talking about.
We'll talk about it later. So...
Josh, I need more information.
It's less in depth than the Pathfinder one I showed you.
I don't have a source of information.
So let's talk about
what you're talking about. Give me an example.
I was trying to before you rudely interrupted me.
I'm sorry. I thought I needed to be more confident.
Not with me. You always do that with me. No one's. He said you are confident. So I've tried to have Paula like either roll for like what her parental backstory is before from the Ultimate Campaign Guide from Pathfinder before. I've tried to encourage her to put some more thought into that stuff. She's never liked it, and so I stopped beating a dead horse a long time ago. She's never liked like figuring out if she has siblings before the game or any of that stuff. Romantic interests, unless that specific thing ties to another character. But that's just how it's been. I don't know. Maybe she'll change now that you've suggested it. Because it's from you and not me. You like how I reversed that one?
No, you know what I like doing, though? Is I like having a more developed, like, I don't want to say, like, relationship or, like, attachment to another character. But not just, like, a single, like, development, like... We were childhood
She doesn't
friends.
care about her character's parents or NPC connections. She only cares about connections to other player characters, is what we've kind of got to at this point.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah. I can't think of a time you've ever roleplayed anything about an NPC relationship to your character. Like, that's been off screen the whole game. I don't think I ever remember you doing that. Like mentioning your character's parents, mentioning siblings, mentioning former friends, like none of that's ever come up in any of your roleplay.
In the Monster of the Week game,
Colin kind of, gets you guys to do that though in general.
Yeah, he's good at that.
Well, yeah, it's what he thrives on, Victor says, I've in the past used text to speak in character with other players while the DM and other players are doing things. Yeah, that's more like conversations between characters, but no.
Sometimes they pay attention though, and sometimes they don't.
Right, you're talking about the Zoom chat thing.
Yeah, it depends on who it is.
But yeah, Paula doesn't really roleplay her character's backstory. really.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. I know. And I think it's in part with how like you grew up playing role-playing games where role-play was an afterthought. It wasn't your fault. It was just that was what your groups did. Role-play was an afterthought, you know? It was about the dungeon crawls and the magic items and, you know, the story the DM was telling. You know?
Yes, that's very true.
Because even recently in playing with some of those same people, it's been not challenging. At times it has, but it's been more about trying to facilitate, to try and bring that role play out of them at times.
It's also harder though when you don't have like that, what you're talking about. Like I'm running that game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard because you're outnumbered versus.
But as a player,
players.
you can't do it by yourself either.
I know.
Have to have other players.
I know. That's why I was saying, like, it's hard if you don't have.
And I'm not that necessarily that kind of role player either. So I like to role play. I like to do some stuff about my backstory, not real in depth, and I like to do like the connections to other players in the group. But I am not someone who likes. So for me, I still like the story to progress. So I like it when we are role playing, but it's quicker. So like in general, I just like quicker paced gameplay in role playing games. So for example, Tomb of Annihilation. If we literally were just walking through the woods with banter back and forth for 2 hours without actually making any progress towards the goal of solving this or any progress towards bettering our actual builds to be able to take on like a greater evil or something like that, I would probably be bored. You know, like I like a little bit of story progression. I like build progression, and I say build because you know it's the mechanics of it. But that doesn't mean I don't like character development. I do, and I like to adapt my character so it's not the same character it was at the start of a campaign. But I can have fun without that if I get the other two aspects. Does that make sense?
Sort of.
Was that too much?
Yeah, you said a lot of words there. I'm trying to concentrate on what parts I'm making blue and what parts I'm not.
So you don't want the reference?
No. I gotta figure out what's gonna look right.
Okay.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Gotta angle it. Spin it a few times.
Yeah, I get it.
Roll of the dice. It's so blue. Looks so blue.
Yeah, but
video.
when you change,
it's not as blue in real life.
No, it's not. It's like a muted Sonic blue.
Yes. But wait for it. We're gonna add a little bit of periwinkle.
Just gonna ruin it. Just gonna ruin it, guys.
It's not gonna be ruined.
Mm-hmm. Just gonna ruin
Nothing is one color.
Oh, I don't know about that. That couch is pretty damn black to me.
It's a couch. It's not an animal. This is an animal. This is a real life.
Zebras are only two colors.
Representation.
White and black.
That's not true. I bet you that black is brown, first of all.
Nope. Won't
Bet you it is.
Won't buy it. Okay, fine, but it's the same shade. It's all the same.
It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't, though.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. Plus, I'm going to make these spikes the yellow, I think, on the back. I think that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to look good like that. You don't even know.
I don't know.
It's going to look good.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotta make sense, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Make it make sense.
So, back when I did my review of Pathfinder, I thought it would become my go-to game system. I really thought that. After I read it, did my review, even after playing it a few times, I was like, this system is what I want. But it's not my ideal system. But neither is 5e. I think
there's a happy medium.
Yes, there is. But here's my issue. My issue is not with what a lot of people think is wrong with Pathfinder. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, there's just so much to do. Like, there's too many options and choices and all this. Like, I love that part. People think it's complex because of the choices. I don't agree with that. To me, the rules of Pathfinder, for the most part, are really good. It's the little things that you have to remember in situations. Like how you could be, what was it? Like on fire, for one round. And then the damage goes down by 1 every round or whatever. Like stuff that's like a sliding scale and changing constantly. And you also have to remember it's even there. That stuff bothers me as a DM. As a player, I think Pathfinder 2nd Edition is great. Like I would still want to change some of that stuff to make it a little bit easier. But ultimately, as a player, I don't think it bothers me that much. Just as a DM. Now, in Dungeons & Dragons 5e, I'm the complete opposite. As a player, there's not enough there to keep me interested, I think.
This card's so shiny.
Mm-hmm. You put it on thicker.
I know. I don't.
That's why.
It looks like garbage. Garbage, you guys. Garbage. Continue on.
I put nuts in my mouth, so peanuts.
Things are getting crazy over here, you guys.
No, they're not.
Things are getting crazy. Little did you know.
So, in D&D, though, as a player, I don't like the lack of customization. Once I've played a sorcerer, Tempest sorcerer, you've played all Tempest sorcerers pretty much. The only way to set it apart is No, it is true, though.
No, it's not.
Oh, because you can take a couple different spells? But you're not going to, because you're going to be like, oh, well, I need the Tempest-type spells, because I get bonuses to that stuff. Same reason you take Panache and the shit that goes with Panache and Pathfinder. But I feel like it's just very samey. Every great weapon fighter feels exactly like every great weapon fighter. Like, it doesn't feel different, There's little things you can do, but it's going to feel the same. So that's my issue as a player of D&D. And after playing tons and tons of games, that's how I've always felt. And I wish there was more variance within those things by giving you meaningful choices when you level up and things like that. Instead, you just get, here's this kit. If you're a, champion fighter, that's probably the most vanilla version, but champion fighter, this is what you get from here on out. You get like 2 choices in that tree of
Look, I'm just going to point out for a second, though, that vanilla is still a flavor.
Yeah.
It's not plain.
We've talked about this before.
It's just a flavor.
Yup.
Just letting you know.
So that's what I don't like about that.
Just trying to stick up for people who like vanilla.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So that's my issue with that. However, D&D 5e as a DM, beautiful. As a DM, I don't want to change very much. So that's where I stand on it, I think. Victor says, question, how would people react to a stream of just role-playing? People love it. That's what Colin does on Twitch and some other people I know, and people really like it. That's one of the aspects people love about Critical Role, is just the role-playing aspect. So, yeah, I think it would be fine if you have the right people trying to role-play.
I mean, when we played that Monster of the Week game, there wasn't any combat.
Until the very end. Then there was. But yeah, most the Call of Cthulhu games we played don't have a ton of combat either. Well, our Call of Cthulhu does. But I mean the colored one.
Yeah. That was a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Good things happened in that game. I was very surprised because I was really nervous.
I don't think I was surprised. I liked it more than I thought I would. But I felt like it was going to be like that. I just didn't think I'd like it. Because for me, I've always been told, oh, I can make Call of Cthulhu creepy and scary. Watch this video. Or, here you go. Like, check this out. Isn't that scary? No. And so, to me, Call of Cthulhu meant, oh, you're going to get scared. You're going to be on the edge of your seat. Never happened. Ever. For me. Josh says, it's a stretch. There are many times when the roleplay could be boring as all hell. But if you can pull it off, great. Yeah, I think, again, it depends on the group. You know, to me, I can watch a stream of all role-playing if there's good character chemistry. Like, if I get interested in the characters in it, then I can like it. And I think most people are like that. Just like movies. If you get drawn into a specific character or a couple characters, you're more likely to watch it than if, yeah, it's just a bunch of characters talking and stuff. Like, that's not interesting if you're not interested in the characters. I think it's the same way for streams. Josh said, I think Pathfinder 1E was a lot better with the feat trees, but a lot of people hated those. I think it's just because people exploited them for optimal gains and wrecked what DMs had planned and were purposely disruptive with it and argued about rules. And I think that's what it all came down to. Lots of room for making weird and fun stuff, but optimized characters were always so much more powerful. Yes. And that's what it is in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. However, it's not to that degree. It seems like all the feat choices you make, they might give you a +1 here or let you do something that you couldn't do before. And they will stack with other things. But as you level up, if you don't continue down that, you could take another suboptimal choice and add more flavor and variance to your character, but you're giving up being able to do this one thing really good right by doing that. And I think that's the issue, like as Paula plays it, and as if she were to continue to level, that's one of her gripes that she would have. Because she would probably take all things to help her panache abilities rather than focus on like diversifying, if I had to bet.
No, actually, there were other things that sounded cool, but it's just like...
Right, you took the optimal choice, though.
One shot, so...
Well, it's not a one shot. It was...
Well, we're just playing, like, a short adventure series.
Right.
And we're getting close to the end, so...
Mm-hmm. Now, there are always opportunities for short adventures, even one shots, to be more than that, though. I've had that happen many times. People are like, hey, we should keep playing. So, I mean, it's not happening with that. I don't think I want to run Pathfinder beyond this campaign, you know? But... I don't know. We'll see. I wouldn't mind playing more Pathfinder.
I would play another Monster of the Week game.
Yeah.
If Colin wanted to run it, that was fun.
Yeah, he's off. He's not running anything for a couple months, though.
Yeah, I know. Oh, but, okay. Like, future Colin can run a game.
There you go. Oh, did our stream freeze? No. Okay, I thought it froze.
Oh.
Scared me. I saw your arm there. I was like, oh no, we froze. We didn't though. Josh said, we were told that the pulp game was going to be investigators, and then we had so much combat. I wanted a build that didn't use weapons, but I had to be of use. So I didn't plan on my character being like so into combat either. I feel like Ethel's character is what kind of like set the tone for that, just because she had like shells.
Guys, my character has nothing for combat. Nothing. Like I have one.
But you can change it to a bat.
I have one spell. I don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, sure. I have one spell that can do like die 3 damage, and that's it. I don't know how to use any weapons. My weapon ability to try and use some of those weapons is like a 10%.
Yeah.
I've got nothing.
I know.
Like I
made your character with you.
Like, you know.
But when we started it, we it was the what was it?
How long is that game running, by the way? I meant to ask you that.
A year.
I know, but when did it start? I don't know when it started.
I don't know what episode number we're on. I'll have to look at that later. Yeah, see, Bonnie saw you turn into a bat. So, anyways.
Bonnie saw nothing.
When it started, though, yes, I didn't think it was going to be heavily combat focused. But, like, in character creation, you could see once Ethel was a moo wearing hair roller character with big guns and only bullet casings in her purse. I feel like we knew where it was going. And then, see, now I'm starting to call snake oil. Whatever Snake Oil's character was before. We've done 20 of 55, so we're not even halfway done. Because he said it'd be about 55 sessions. What was his character? Billy Bob. When Billy Bob was like, oh yeah, I got my pappy shotgun I always carry with me and I shoot things and I ride bikes. It was like, okay. Like, I felt like we knew. It does do some... Yeah, see, that's because of my stream. There's something on my end with my computer. It's not my internet. It's something with my computer usage. Sorry, man. He said, if you do a 5e game, I would be happy to do a Xanathar's build with Paula. You can do that. A bit of freezing and then it catches up. Paula, you can turn into a bat. I saw you. Well, it's not that you have nothing. You do look good in leather. There you go, Paula. You can look good in leather.
Awesome.
She still won't wear leather for me, though. I've tried. I got her this thing that, like... Oh, I shouldn't talk about that on stream, should I? She won't wear it for me, though.
Stop
it. It's like leather strips, and it, like, barely covers anything. She won't wear it for me. I don't understand.
Stop it. You're so foolish.
I mean, I'll order it right now if you want me to. Anyways, no, we...
What were you saying? You don't even know. You got distracted by the leather.
I did get distracted by the leather. I don't know. I don't remember. Oh, the Pulp Cthulhu. But yeah, it just... We could tell right off the bat it was going to go that direction. Josh said he'll wear leather for me. The beard... Will you shave the beard for me, too?
Gotta keep the beard.
Victor says, I look amazing in leather. Victor looks amazing in leather. You shave the beard, dye your hair red, you might look almost like Paula.
Yeah, I know. We're really close, remember?
Voice, the British style, like, voice, I don't know.
We
not
look
British.
really similar. So.
The voice, though, you know, the fancy, proper voice is going to throw me off.
I'm not proper enough for him.
I don't know about that. She's just always arguing with me, yelling at me. Take out the trash! Do the dishes!
Well, if you just took out the trash, I wouldn't have to ask you to take out the trash.
See, all the times I do just take out the trash. She doesn't even notice. She never says anything.
By the way, you need to make sure you put out the trash tonight. Mm-hmm. The trash, the recycling, and the yard waste. All three of them, need to go out.
Yeah.
Dang. I already have bruises on my knees.
Yeah, so we don't need to hear about your bruises on your knees.
Well, that's because you didn't bring the compressor inside for me.
You were supposed to... I told you to measure first before doing anything, and then I'll bring it in.
Well, unless... Actually, you did not tell me that. You said, I suggest you do that. And
Josh said he can be British.
You were going to help.
British Paula.
You don't get to contribute.
Wish I could, but too much metal in the face. Okay. So you cover up scars with the beard? I got you, man. I got you. Hey, scars are sexy.
It's true, though.
It is. Now it's super watery.
I know.
Is that how you wanted it?
Yeah, I'm trying. Okay. It's going to be lighter here because it's going to fade. It's going to be yellow here. But then we're going to do, there's going to be some, other
I'm not allowed to sacrifice the kids, Josh. So Josh said,
color.
Take out the trash, do the dishes, sacrifice the kids, bring the compressor inside. No, it's definitely not sacrifice the kids because I would totally do that. Or pawn the kids off on someone. I would totally do that too. She won't let me.
Stop.
She won't let me sell the kids. I looked at black market prices and everything. She just won't allow it. Pieces of metal keep popping out. Do they really? Oh, that's wild. Juice, put the dishes in trash, and Paula will never ask you to do the dishes or take out the trash again. Not true at all. She still asks me to do stuff even if I suck at it. Then she complains I do it wrong.
Honey, you can't learn to do it better if you don't practice.
Yeah, it's like laundry. I mean, I only have to ruin a few more of her garments before she might give up, but she's not showing any signs of giving up. I don't know. Hell, I can't even figure out which clothes are which boys in our house sometimes.
But
And I fold their laundry more often than anybody.
by the way, I moved some of Caleb's clothes to Gabe's rooms or Gabe's stuff, so.
Oh, okay. So is it Gabe's now?
If it's 5 and up, it's Caleb.
How can you read half those tags? Half of them are faded to the point where you can't read them.
I don't know. I use my seeing eyes.
Oh, as opposed to your not seeing eyes?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I think there's a happy medium between D&D 5e and Pathfinder. I just don't know where it is. I think it has to have the customization of Pathfinder no matter what. And I think it needs the simplicity of D&D 5e. Like, I don't want to keep track of a bunch of stuff. I don't want 6 different things I have to keep track of for specific characters. I like the action economy. With how I typically run monsters, though, I sometimes will forget, how many things I've done with them. So, especially since I like to throw lots of weak monsters at parties, like, 14 kobolds at a party sometimes. With miniatures, it's easier. When it's over the internet and you're using theater of the mind, it's really difficult, I feel like.
Gets to be
It's just hard to keep track of which ones went, which ones haven't, who's where, and I feel like it's easy for me to remember where things are, but sometimes my players don't know because I'm not that good at describing it. Josh said you're using your third eye. Victor says, oh no, Paula gets to buy new clothes after you do the laundry. Poor woman. With what money? I've tried to convince her to buy clothes in recent months. She's like, no.
Look, I'm going to have to go back to
I've sent her dresses that I thought would look hot.
Back to the office
all sorts of stuff.
soon, so I'll probably buy lots of new clothes because I've been wearing pajamas for the last year.
I've tried to send cool stuff. She won't buy it. I don't know why.
So once it's time to force myself to wear real clothes again, I'll do that.
How late we go until tonight? 10? And then watching that Jupiter show? After I take all of the trash out? It's almost 10, that's why I ask.
Yeah, we should. That sounds about right. Not sure on the show, but...
Yeah. I think we should watch the Jupiter show.
I'm sure that is what you think.
You don't want to watch that show? Why don't you want to watch that show?
We'll talk about it later.
It's such a good show.
It is a great show.
Yeah, I want to get through it. Josh says, also the magic system in Pathfinder 2 is a bit off for lower level spells because you can upcast too easily by just using all actions to do so. So I don't like how upcasting works in Pathfinder. I would rather it be like 5e, where if you have slots, you can make anything go higher. That's what I would prefer. Should we send Paula clothes to wear? Sure. She won't wear them.
I mean, if you're offering to buy me clothes, Josh, I have...
She's apparently in the running for a new sugar daddy. Because I'm not it.
I actually love to buy clothes. And I love new clothes. And I love going shopping for clothes.
Hey, Josh, do me a favor. Send me your address. I know I asked a while back. I forgot to send out what I needed to. Do me a favor and message me on Discord or Facebook, just a private message, and send me your address again. I need to get something squared away tomorrow. Need to get something sent off to you. But yeah, that is a good show. Yeah, so I do like the age system a lot. It's a little bit... So right now, I like it because I still don't know it fully. But I feel like after I play it for a while, I might think it's a little bit too simplistic also. After a while. But I really enjoy it so far. It is a fun game. I will play quite a bit of it.
You talking about Dragon Age?
Yeah, just the age system in general.
But
yeah.
Okay.
Because I have Fantasy Age too.
Yeah, I think, we
yet.
said that, like, what is it called?
The stunts?
The stunts would be nice if they were a little bit more customized or whatever.
There are some.
Because they're kind of similar and stuff like that, but...
I'm pretty sure there are custom stunts by things. And I don't know, I don't have all the Fantasy Age books. There's, like, a player's companion, and there's a campaign companion, and I think they add more things to the system. Which, obviously, that's not Dragon Age per se, but it's the same game. There's only a couple of differences. Like, Dragon Age has 2 skills that in Fantasy Age are split out into 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, or not skills, but attributes, I think. Let me grab it real quick. I think it's like accuracy. So, okay. So in Fantasy Age, you have accuracy, communication, constitution, dexterity, fighting, intelligence, perception, strength, and willpower. Whereas in Dragon Age, accuracy is part of dexterity, I believe. And fighting is part of strength, I think. Does that make sense? Yeah. So this splits it out, so it's 2 different things, and they don't necessarily have to do with each other. It also doesn't have things like blood magic or the other stuff, though. Can you send... Victor said, can you send me some clothes? So, yeah, I think those books add some more options, though. I'll have to look and ask around. But I'm thinking about doing some series about the age system on my channel. Talking about like how to play it, like an intro to the age system kind of thing. And I'll probably do it with like introduction to Fantasy Age, introduction to Dragon Age, and like go through all that. Kind of like what I did with my D&D Basics series. Do the same thing with the age system. It's easy. It probably will be a very short series, but yeah. Josh says, I still miss Pathfinder's intelligence for skills. It made it so it wasn't a dump stat. Yeah. I don't know. Like, everyone just... I didn't like how original Pathfinder 3.5 did skills in general. Like, I like that you could put ranks in different things. I mean, that's fine. But...
It was nice because your skills continued to level up as you did, and not just your proficient ones necessarily.
But the numbers for the game got out of control. To the point where it's like, you could not, at low levels, do anything that was like this high. Like, it's impossible. Same thing with like armor classes. It got so far out of whack. I like the more bounded accuracy of 5e. This is coming from someone who didn't really play much of original Pathfinder in 3.5. In fact, I never played 3.5. I only played original Pathfinder a little bit. Went to a couple in-store things of it, and then ran it a little bit. But just the numbers got too out of whack. To the point where once you've hit like a certain level, if you've never put a skill rank in something, you're never going to, because it'll never be good enough to even succeed on a basic check for whatever level you are. Yeah. So it was just, again, it's the whole... That's, to me, that is the epitome of illusion of choice. It also is one of those things I hate where, like in the new Pathfinder, I hate the fact that it tells you that if something's considered easy, it's this difficulty based on this level, but it's this difficulty if you're this level. And it's like, that's dumb. So if I go to this door at first level and it's supposed to be an easy lock, and it's this target number to beat. But if I leave and say I never got the lock that time, and I come back 10 levels later, well, now the number is higher just because of my level. I don't like that at all. I think there should be a scale, and that scale should never change. If this target number is easy and this target number is hard, those should always be those, no matter what level you are. It's just as you level up, it should be easier, obviously, to do the hard one. But it shouldn't be impossible if you're, well, it could be impossible at first level. I'm fine with that. But once you get up there and you have a couple of ranks in it, it shouldn't be impossible anymore.
All right.
All right, you're good? You like it? You're at a good spot?
Yeah.
Show them. Give them a good view of it.
He's coming along.
He's going to be so badass. I can't wait to use this on you guys.
Yeah, he's going to be super badass with my special modifications.
The main problem with bounded accuracy is that it is very easy to max things out in it. For example, AC or a rogue's reliable talent. It makes it almost impossible to fail. I think we need a medium. Yes, but that's because of things like expertise. Imagine if you didn't have expertise. Or, like, they didn't, when they originally designed 5e, they didn't take into account magic items, and they said that when it first came out. So that's another issue you have. And so that's why you can end up with some pretty wacky things that are just always pretty high. So I think the difficulty of things should be like, what's his name? Mike Merles? Or the dragon. Are you asking about the dragon? We'll call him Horny. Oh, me so horny. We love you long time.
It's still up for grabs. His name is still being debated.
Kyan Rath's daddy.
What do you want his name to be?
Yeah, what do you want his name to be?
We'll think about it.
All right, guys. So we are going to end the stream there. Thank you for watching. We'll be back mini painting in 2 weeks. Otherwise, tomorrow we do have a Pulp Cthulhu game. So come back for that, and we'll see you guys. And Josh, you'll be playing them, so obviously you'll be here. But thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Game on.